blue paint dominance. Here we go.
Puck back in the Amherst zone. They're dressed in the dark blues and predominantly white. The Syracuse Crunch attacking Subban to our right. The Amherst shooting, of course, the net to our left as the puck in the Amherst zone. Drawn away to the blue line. It's still stuck and kept in the zone. And the Amherst turning back for it. Wheel backhander behind the net around the other side. Chased after in the corner. Prow bunching up there. The puck at the far point kept in again. And played along the sideboards, but the Amherst feed to center ice for McCarr, trying to make their way, being chased down as he's upended by Carlisle. Shot off the right wing side, kicked away by Legacy, and the rebound is pulled out over the line, dumped down in the Amherst zone. Turning backward go the Amherst. Now behind the net and off into the far corner. Ciccone after it. That's reverse behind the net, back to the near boards. Dropping down from the point area, Murray, as that's blocked and then fired around behind the Amherst net again. Cleared around the near wing. Amherst trying to dig it out. Yops there as the puck pops up in the air, comes down in front, and the shot in. Barry Ballet getting the blocker on it. Subban, the rebound pulled aside. On the far boards, but recovered again by Syracuse. As that's a feed in on goal, bouncing away. Amherst got a stick on that one and cleared the puck out over the line to center ice. Murray with it. Long cross rink of the right side. Over the stick of Mershon down, around behind the Syracuse net. Puck drawn out on the far boards. Hopped over the stick of Metza at the right point. Got to the line, but nice hustle by Murray, keeps it in the zone. Dumps it down in the right wing corner. As they tie up, drop it on top of the slot, and a wrister in by Malone, just missing. Back on the near boards, pulled out over the line to center ice, then dropped back in the zone as Syracuse makes changes. Crunch with it. We've played a minute 43. Just getting started here. Pass up ice, Hammers take it away. That's backhanded in. And around behind the Syracuse net on the backboards and tied up in the corner, played back along the boards, but not out. Long shot in again. That's blocked and comes down the near corner. As they tie up there, puck dumped around behind the net. Out on the other side and cleared through the center ice. Back checking, the Amherst steal it away again. On the near boards, Pilot. He'll drop it off, feed forward, up to Rosean. He'll spin, dumps it in, off in the left wing corner, chased after by Rusak. Gets tied up in the sideboards as they hack away at it there. Down behind the net, taken by Carrick, and he reverses it into the near corner, and the Crunch find an opening to dump it out of the zone to center ice. On the near boards, taken away by Kulik, is back in the lineup. His first ever North American playoff game. Dropped out on the right side, shot in, hits a body in front, rebound in on goal. Grabbed and held on to by Legacy for a face-off. And the Amherst are not going the first period tonight without a shot or two on goal.
No, not at all. And that was really good to see Ethan Prow get it on goal after the drop pass, but it's equally as important to see Yuri Kulik going exactly where you would hope that he would go, and that is to the front of the net as he comes back in to the lineup for, as you say, his first pro playoff game here in North America. Can you believe that after being drafted in 2018, this is Matej Pekar's first AHL playoff game as well, and he had the first really good look tonight. Partial breakaway, got angled off, but then spun around and got it to the goal. Love to see his energy be more infectious for this group tonight.
I'll tell you what, it's been a tough start to his pro career, but he seems like he's coming around very nicely. Back in the Amherst zone, off of the far boards, long shot in wide. That off the back boards around the near wing to the point and tipped out of the zone to center ice. Kulik chasing on the heels of Carlisle, but not enough speed on it to catch up to it, and that's in the zone and an icing call. 17:09 to go, first period, and no score.
And Don, I think it's really to follow up on your point about how Pekar may be progressing right now. Obviously, Cederqvist is injured and was unable to go tonight, but the fact that Seth Appert decided to start the line of Olszewski with Pekar and Passold really says a lot about that trio, in my opinion.
They've done a nice job, and they were doing just an outstanding job in Cincinnati. Puck is dropped. Nope, not again. Not dropped. We'll do it again. 3 shots so far for the Amherst, 1 for Syracuse. Puck dropped, pulled back in the corner, and dug out there by Ciccone. Flips it high in the air to center ice. Rusek over the red line. He'll slam it in, squeezes through. Out the puck drops down the corner. Cleared around the far side by Thompson. And a pass up the slot. Barry Belay cross-ring pass. Amherst got a piece of it, and the puck dribbles in over the line, kept in by Gonsalves. His drop pass picked off. Amherst bring it away, but a penalty being called. Slashing penalty coming up here on the Amherst. Something the Amherst didn't need at this point.
No, definitely the power play for the Crunch is running at 25%, and we know that the last game, the story was obviously the Amherst's inability to score with the extra man. Here, it's Ciccone going to be going off for a slash. Didn't appear to be particularly harsh in my opinion, but nonetheless, the early call goes against them. And big emphasis here on the penalty kill.
So tonight's penalty kill brought to you by Connecta Federal Credit Union. Banking done different. Face off to the right of Subban. In the crunch on the power play. Last game an 0 for 4, but the first game, that was the big difference in that game. One was 2 for 4 in the power play for Syracuse. Puck dumped around behind the crunch net, played back on the near boards and recovered by Carlisle. Retreats behind his net, stops there. As they feed up the right wing side to center ice. Puck knocked loose and ripped away and down ice by the Amerks. Go back for it, go the crunch. In trying to almost stealing it away as Malone is. It was played by Legacy off in the far corner, then thrown out to center ice, trying to pass to the player, stepping off from the player bench. Emmerich take it away. And it's Malone dropping it off inside of his own blue line. Emmerich wasting some time here.
Really good puck management. Well, down a man here. They took advantage of that botched line change by Syracuse and killed off about 30 seconds.
And it's dumped down by Kozak, and back for go the crunch. Minute 5 to go in this power play. Brought away by Syracuse. They scored the first goal of the game in both the previous 2 games. Run up the near wing, carried around behind the net by Koepke. Off in the far corner. That's reversed all the way to the near side. Murray-Belay getting to it, drops it down in the corner. And the puck in behind the net. Koepke off the backboards, wheels it around the far side. From the left wing boards, that shot around to the near side. Back is Murray-Belay on the right wing boards. Moves out top of the slot, takes a shot. Tried to pick that upper corner, but missed. Comes down behind the net. And off into the near corner, clear back at the right point. Murray-Belay takes it there. Throws it back to her side, but Hammer's got a stick on that one. At the left point, kept into the right side. Bounced away from Murray-Belay. Ball on the near boards, he'll drop it down the corner. And around behind the Hammers net for Koepke. Hammers reaching in, taken away. That's timed it out and down ice, and Murray, as he tried to clear it, was hooked. And it'll be a penalty coming up to Syracuse.
Yeah, really good job by veteran players. I say veteran, it's more in age than actual games played when you talk about Weisbach being out on the penalty kill. But Murray out there too, and he's the one that draws the infraction, which is a great step when you're doing all the right things in your own zone and you put Syracuse in that position to make that play. It would have been an easy exit for Murray, but now the Amherst within 12 seconds here will get their first power play look.
So the face-off coming up in the Syracuse zone. Gonsalves, 2 for hooking. Packed house here at the Blue Cross Arena tonight. I know they were saying it was at least over 9, or close to 9 anyway. Now behind the Syracuse net, we saw what a great crowds they were last year for the playoffs.
Yeah, the appetite is very much there, and I think a lot of people just so excited for this kind of redemption game here for the Amherst in game 3, they hope.
Ciccone out of the penalty box, Amherst on the power play. Drop back, continuing on, Weisbach picks up speed, the red line, the blue line, drops it off on the right side, they shoot and score! Go pass for Weisbach! It's fired in the upper right corner, glove side of Legacy, and the Amherst Rosean will put the Amherst on the board.
And for Isaac Rosean, his first ever playoff goal. Excellent regular season when it came to his power play contributions, and they continue here early in game 3 as he is wide open from the slot, glove side high, perfect finish. We've talked so much about the power play shots this year of Kulik and Rosean, and Isaac able to give the Amherst the 1-0 lead.
So it's the first time the Amherst scored the first goal. It's the first power play goal the Amherst have scored. It's, as you said, Rosean's first goal. Lots of firsts on that one. It just all wraps up to being a huge goal right there for the Amherst.
Well, you can't know how the game is going to go from here, but to be able to get that power play kick started, it has to be a huge momentum or mental boost for this group.
That's Bartkowski to dump it in wide of the net, comes down behind. And off in the far corner, Usov will play it along the wall, and that out over the line to center ice to the red line. Flipped in around behind the Amherst net, knocked down and cleared around the boards by Subban. It's reversed the other side in the far corner. Metza back for it for the Amherst. Sends it along the wall. That one sneaks through to center ice. Getting hold of it, Carrick will fire right back in. The crunch clear of the zone. The Amherst have it. Syracuse finishing up, making changes. Dropped off, Bartkowski up the left wing for Mersch. He's upended. And the puck rolls down inside the Amherst blue line. Dropped off in the slot. Trying to get a shot away as that's fired behind the net around the near board. Dropped by Reifers in behind. Return pass in front. They shoot and score. Great give and go pass right there with Barry-Belay and Rifers put inside the post on the glove side of Subban, and this game is even at 1.
Never ceases to amaze how involved Barry-Belay is for this Syracuse team, and you described it perfectly. Just a down-low play, kind of outman the opposition, and a very, very quick response goal from Syracuse here to get it back to even terms. Rifers has been an interesting follow for this Tampa Bay organization as he works his way into, the pro game here at the AHL level, and definitely a guy that has a ton of skill. Maybe didn't post as big a numbers as he would have liked in this opening season for him, but a difference maker on that play.
So Syracuse comes right back and answers with one of their own. So here's the call on that Rochester goal.
Number 13, Linus Weisbach. And number 20, Lawrence Pilot.
And Pilot gets the other assist. Buck is in the Amex zone, off on the right wing corner. To the right, that is, of Subban. Then it's dumped behind the net. The Hammers dig it out, bring it away. We're tied at 1, 7 minutes into this game. Off the left wing side, dump the rest of the way down. Now behind the crunch net, back for it goes Myers. Scored the game-winning goal in the first game, the overtime goal. Hammers have it back in the zone, cleared up the near side through the center ice. On the left wing, tipped forward inside the Syracuse blue line, but dumped right back out of the zone. Hammers have it, pass forward up the right wing, off the stick of Olszewski. Round behind the crunch net and off into the near corner. We get the call on that Syracuse goal.
Number 39, Gage Gonzalez. Rifers from Beret-Boulet and Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez gets the other assist as we're even at 1. And the play is out at center ice. Carried in over the Hammers blue line along the left wing and scooped around behind the net. Back for it, Pilot in the corner. He'll send it up the wall and now carried forward by Paso. Through the center ice, gains the red line, dumps it the rest of the way down. Down behind the Syracuse net, cleared off the far boards, reaching in. Hammers get a hold of it, still tied up inside the blue line. As they hack it along the sideboards, then it's cleared out of the zone, and here come the crunch into the Amex zone. Working wide to the right side. There's a return shot by Chaykovich. That missed wide around the far boards and out around to the point, but kept in still. At the near point, kept in. Return shot, Thompson on his knees. That's grabbed by Subban, holds on for the face-off. 11:40 to go here in the first period, and we're tied at 1. This is the Amex Broadcast Network. Back here at the Blue Cross Arena, by the way, the referees are Brandon Schrader and Riley Brace, and the lines are Mitch Hunt and Spencer Knox. At the left point, Crunch have it, long shot in, that one up in the air, comes down in front and just scooted wide of the right post. Comes out on the near boards, flipped away in the air to center ice. Big collision, nice hit there by Mersch. Leaping in the air was Carlisle trying to pull it down, and it was like a tight end going up for a pass.
Yeah, and I think Mersch actually laid off a little bit. It could have been far worse, but definitely took a little bit of advantage of the situation.
Back cleared around the boards, out to center ice. Hammers have it back again. Stepping up Ciccone at the red line. He'll send it in over the line. That's knocked down the corner as we have a whistle stopping play. And not sure that the stoppage was that one came up and caught a Syracuse player high. Now, who is that heading toward the bench? Doubled over, and he's going to make his way right down the tunnelway. Didn't pick up the number, did you?
Couldn't tell if it was Robert or not. No, it's not Robert. Take a look at that in a minute. I did want to say, Don, I was a little brain cramp there on that crunch tying goal. Rifers, after a quiet first year offensively, I mean, he did lead Syracuse in goals this year with 27, and I just think between him and Barry-Boulet, like just such a threat for the Syracuse team.
Pilot winds up shot at that one. Didn't make it through somehow. There's a mass of bodies on a pile up in front of the net. Hits a body in front, and now the puck out to center ice. Hammers bring it forward again. Pilot up the left wing, dumps it in, but picked up in front of his net by Carrick. He'll turn, flip it away to the blue line. Crunch have it. Spinning around, turning back in his own zone. Robert gets tied up, and the Hammers almost intercept. That's turned out to center ice, far boards. Birds played in by Balsers around behind the Amex net. Hopped over the stick of Subban and comes down to the near corner. As they draw it away on the sideboards, it is out over the line to center ice. Chased back inside of his blue line by Jones. The former Amherst defenseman who scored the first goal of the game last game, which turned out to be the game-winning goal. Dumped in on goal, and Subban plays it aside. That's cleared around the far boards out and all the way down ice. Jones back for it. His cross-ring pass. And the Amherst step in to intercept. Olszewski pass in front, knocked down. At the left point, kept in by Bartkowski. To the right side, Metza will play it off the boards. Round behind the net, comes all the way down to the near corner. They hack away at it in the corner boards. Looking to dig it out still. Pekar taken to a knee, had it in his skates momentarily, but that's pulled away and then flipped out over the line to center ice. It wasn't cleared along the wall, but it's a hand pass to stop play. So we have a timeout here once again, 9:43 to go in the first period, and we're tied at 1. And this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Still the early stages of this one. We've played a little over half the first period, and it's even up at 1. And up the left wing side, tipped in around behind the Syracuse net. Crunch back for it. Cleared by Legacy into the far corner, but the Amherst get a hold of it. That's dropped out top of the slot. Davies takes a look, takes a shot, just missed the left post, and a return shot across the goal mouth ends up in the far boards. Down behind the net, trying to center it out in front again on the near wing. Dropped down to the side, and that's pulled out over the line to center ice. And skipped through all the way back in the Amherst zone, chased down by Saccone. Round behind his net and out the near boards. He flips it high in the air, comes down to the red line, batted forward by the Crunch, but bouncing puck finally pulled in over the line by Kulik, but couldn't get a hold of it. That's turned down over the line. Kulik on the far boards will now take it and scoop it in, deep in, around behind the Syracuse net. Crunch back for it, taken by Myers. 8:50 to go. First period, even at 1. That's a long pass up ice, missed everything and down, and will be an icing. 8:49 to go here in the first period, and it's all even at 1 apiece. By the way, this season of Amherst hockey is brought to you by Seneca Niagara Jordan Casino, the official casino and gaming partner of the Rochester Americans.
Roseanne, the goal for the Amherst from Weisbach and Pilot. Simon Reifers, the goal from Barre Boulay and Gage Gonzalez, the Crunch point getters. Gonzalez leading Syracuse in points so far in the series with 3. He's the one that took the inadvertent puck up high on the dump in from Saccone, but he has come back to the game.
Now played to the right point, kept in. Dumped down the corner, round behind the Syracuse net. As that one pulled out through the slot and ends up out at center ice. Down to the Rochester blue line, chipped forward by Weisbach. Then overskated by everybody and is dumped right back into the Amherst zone. Down behind his net, Pilot, but that's whistled down. That's an icing call. Will bring the face off once again down into the Syracuse zone. Hey, you deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill of yourself for yourself. Shop at your local Nissan dealership and NissanUSA.com. Face off coming to the right of Legacy, who is, third in the playoffs thus far, 0.98 goals against average.
Well, they've already changed that on him tonight, right?
I was going to say it's probably 0.99 now.
One would think.
Round behind the net in the far corner, dumped in behind the net. Right around the boards, out on the near side. As the puck is then flipped around behind the net by Pilot, makes its way all the way back at the right point. Metzel gets there in time to keep it in. He'll wheel it off the boards around behind the net, comes down the near corner, dug out by Weisbach. Lays it back at the left point to the right side. Long shot, head stop for Legacy, and the rebound goes wide. Coming down the far corner, back to the near side, once again the left point for Pilot. He'll then slip it off the boards, round behind the net. Taken the back boards by Russa, gets tied up momentarily, but digs it out. Back to the right point, now to the left side for Bartkowski. His shot hits the body, and that one wide around the far side. Pinching down, Metza can't get to it. Puck flipped in the air, not to center ice. Pulled in over the line again by Bartkowski. He'll scoop it along the wall, around behind the net. Collides there with Carlisle. In behind the Syracuse net, puck dug off the back boards, right out the near side, and trying to spin a backhander away Malone, but that's blocked off the end of his stick. Down the near wing, back at the left point, Bartkowski to the right side. A wrister in from the right point by Metza is knocked down and turned on and down ice, and it'll be another icing call. 7:11 to go here in the first, and we're even at 1 apiece.
Well, no surprise after the way the game 2 started with no shots in the first period. That shot mentality was going to be a coaching staff key for the Amherst tonight. It's been really nice to see that generation happen. We saw Kulik just offer one from as far back in the zone as possible, right at the blue line, and it created a bit of havoc. We're seeing the defensemen have that mentality too. Bartkowski just now, Davies prior to that, Proud prior to that. This is absolutely what this group needs if they're going to find some rebounds in and around Legacy tonight.
Well, they they've got 5 shots so far, but I think there's at least that many that have just missed the one post or the other. And behind the net and off in the far corner. Hammers get a hold of it. As pinned up to the wall, Malone. The puck dug out. Hammer player hauled down. No call there. And the puck out over the line, dumped down ice. I think that was Rosean that had his skates pulled out from under him. But no call. Pass ahead. Taken and scooped out over the line to center ice. Malone will drop it back, and now a feed on the near wing. Up the left wing side, pass hold, but that bounced away out the end of his stick. Carried by the Crunch of their own blue line. Forte up the left wing to the Emmerich blue line, but sent the other way by Proud down into the Syracuse zone. Chasing after the corner goes Pekar. Olszewski in looking to dig it out also as the puck chipped along the back boards. Another hit issued there by Passolt, and the puck out to center ice. Scooped ahead in over the Rochester line, trying to break away was Crozier, as that off his stick rolls around behind the Amherst net. Comes out on the near side, getting to it. Kepke shot of a leg in front. In the slot, the Amherst take it, scoop it along the wall out of the zone. As it's played to the far board, stepping up on it, Prowl. Tips it forward, but the Crunch recover the puck at their own blue line again. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first period, tied at 1. Cleared around the boards out on the near wing. Puck is played toward the front of the net, but the Amherst get a hold of it. Sent to the far point by Prowl, but not out. Long shot in, stick stop for Suman. Prowl again on the backboards as he's tied up there, looking to drop it behind the net. As he picks up the puck again and behind, that's cleared around all the way out to the near point and kept in by the Crunch. Myers to the other side, Carrick long shot. That's knocked down in front. The Amherst dig out the rebound and bring it away. Yops up the right side, gains the red line, scoops it in. In the far corner, Murray able to play it behind his net. And in the backboards, they tie up, collision of bodies, and the loose puck brought away by the Crunch. Flipped high in the air to center ice. Emmerich's back for it, chased down now by Bartkowski. Down behind his net, out the near side, will slide it to the point, but that's picked off and kept in by the Crunch. On the near wing, and a give and go, dropped off with a slot of a wrist shot in, and Subban gets his pad on it. Puck around behind the net of the airboards, feet across the goal mouth, but that blocked back in behind once again. Nets after it, bumped from behind, but puck played behind the Amherst net around the near side. Crunch again on the forecheck as they hammer up to the side boards. Hammers dig it out and clear it away over the line to center ice for Weisbach, but nowhere to go, so spins back in his own zone. And the puck taken away, but lost, and the Hammers take it back again. Malone up the left wing, Rusek over the line, Weisbach along the near boards enters. Drops it back in the slot, but that one picked off and tipped out over the line to center ice. Hammers do recover it. Weisbach will turn it up the right wing side, long shot in. Down behind the Syracuse net, Crunch have it. We're down to 4:18 to go in the first period. Again, tied at 1. Emmer scored first, but the Crunch came right back and tied it up. Pass ahead on the near boards, in around behind the Amherst net, and that'll be an icing call. 4:06 to go in the first period.
That's 4 icings in the last couple of minutes for the Crunch, but there was some, dicey moments in their own zone there after an unfortunate turnover by Bartkowski. He was in great position to get it out. The puck hopped on him right at the last second, and there was some good work by the Crunch down low, but I really like a lot of the Amherst top players here tonight. They do have a lot of jump. Weisbach perhaps being the most noticeable, so we'll watch with interest to see how his night unfolds. He's already got 1 assist.
Left point kept in, sorry.
Oh, good.
Cleared around the far boards. I thought you were done talking.
Nah, I got a little bit of Marty in me tonight. I got to keep it a little shorter.
I was just about to say, where did you learn that bit about never stopping talking?
Oh, my goodness.
Puck along the far boards, tied up. And in case you just joined us, Brian Duff is here. Not only does he host the Sabres telecast, but also has that hourly show every day, which can be seen and heard around the world.
MSG, the Odyssey app, you got it.
Right away and up ice now. Now turned back in the zone. Crunch making changes. 3:20 to go in the first period. Now on the left wing side, out the center ice to the red line. Scooped in wide to the Amherst net. Rochester back for it. On the near boards, turned up the wall. As Picard drops it off, continuing on, Passold up the left wing, breaking in on goal, feet across the goal mouth, ends up wide, coming down on the boards. The net is knocked off. The whistle stops play. A nice job of charging the net by Passold. Looked like he got a feed away on the wide side, but the Amherst just couldn't finish. We'll have a little discussion going on before the net is replaced. Shots are even all of a sudden at 7 now.
Wow, that was a terrific net drive by the the line of the Olszewski line. Passel was able to make that centering pass across, but just missing on the redirect on the doorstep. Fakar, and obviously Legacy was there to make the save.
And we do have a timeout here, 3:04 to go in the first, tie to 1. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Your next New York State adventure, just an Amtrak away. Visit Amtrak.com for details. And restrictions apply. From the face-off, Amerks have it. Ball on the near boards up to the red line. Davies will shoot it in. There's a battle for the puck just inside the blue line, but the Crunch able to clear it away and down inside the Rochester blue line along the far boards. Dropped off, the Amerks pick it up again. In the corner, Davies up the left wing side. And did Murray get a touch on it? Well, he was his own side of the red line anyway, so
he did, yeah.
That's an icing call, taking the face-off back in the Amerks zone.
Yeah, it was good that last play there with Passel centering it. It was actually Olszewski on the doorstep, but then right after Olszewski was there, Prow arrived on the scene quickly. Fakar was there, so there's no hesitation right now for the defense, but all the forwards to get involved around the blue paint, which was an area where Mike Weber really felt like this team needs to dominate tonight. So starting in the right, I would say in the right manner this evening, and always room for more.
Face-off coming to the right of Subban. And the Amerks injuries have come at not a good time. As you're looking at out for the Amerks out injured, Brendan Byro, Brendan Warren, Philippe Cederquist, and Carson Dasevich. It's turned down inside the Syracuse blue line in the corner, around behind, then feet in front, they score! That comes out in front off the backboards. And there was
the captain
trying to pick it up, Mersch. It looks like Mersch. He found an opening inside the left post.
Exactly the area we just spoke of going, and the most veteran of goal scorers in Calder Cup playoff action for this Amerks team. Michael Mersch has 17 postseason tallies now as it squirted through 2 sets of legs from the centering pass below the goal line, and Mersch was wide open and goes blocker side on Legacy to put the Amerks back in the lead.
Yeah, the good news is there's lots of people in the building tonight. The not so good news is when a goal is scored, they all stand up and we can't see anything.
I think Murray actually got a redirect on that centering pass from Yops too, so terrific work by that line. And you're right, it's okay to be blocked out by thousands and thousands of fans here tonight. Terrific crowd, only the highest levels on both ends right now, seeing some empty seats here at Blue Cross Arena.
A few empties in the upper horseshoe, and the balcony looks pretty tight, but yeah, it's a great crowd on hand. The face-off coming up in the Rochester zone. The Amerks regain the lead. Did you see who sent the puck behind the net?
Yeah, Yops was down low, and that Murray was beside the goal, tied up with the defender. So it looked like it went off of Murray or the defender, and then just snuck right out to where Mersch was absolutely perfectly positioned.
All right, so we're going to say Murray and Yops both get assists.
I'm betting on that right now, but I'm not a betting man, Don.
So if it's wrong, I'm blaming you.
Oh, I'm used to that. Come on.
Puck dumped into the corner, played behind the net, and around the near boards, and piloted up the left wing side. Draws it through and down ice. Have missed everybody, so that'll be a nice thing. Taking the face-off once again back into the Rochester zone with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. The Amerks have regained the lead. It's 2-1.
Well, it has to be a huge relief because I was mentioning earlier just going to the net, and as I was saying it, I was thinking, okay, the Olszewski line has been doing it, but we need to see it more from especially the Yops line because he's got such big wingers to help him out here, and fitting that they would be the next ones to answer for the Amerks.
Last time the Amerks scored, the Crunch scored 57 seconds later. So the Amerks will try and hold this lead for a while here at least. Knocked around the far boards, dumped into the corner, and it is then batted around the near side. The right point kept in. Meyer scoops it down the corner. Amerks getting a hold of it as they tie up. A minute to go here in the period. Puck pulled out of the slot, brought away by Kozak, who's playing on a wing tonight. He's played at center pretty much all season. I've moved to a wing here tonight. And the puck in the corner, turned around the far boards, and got out there by the Crunch. That's on top.
From Murray and Yops.
As the puck pulled in over the line and along the near side. I think you were exactly right?
You owe me $5.
Yeah, the puck along the near boards. Well, you haven't paid me for entry into the Don Stevens press box yet, so that means you owe me $40.
I'm on a payment plan for that one, let me tell you.
In the near corner, pass away to center ice. I keep telling everybody they have to pay to get into this press box.
Now, the night they unveiled it, all you wanted was cookies in return. Now you're asking for more? Come on.
Yeah, nobody's paying, though. That I don't understand. Long shot in, grabbed by Legacy, and he holds on for the face-off.
Reputation isn't what it used to be, apparently, huh?
No.
Oh, boy.
Look at people standing in front and sitting in front of the sign. You can't even see the sign now.
I got to tell you this, and I'm not just sucking up to you in the moment. Just being over at the Genesee Brew House earlier and talking with so many Amherst fans, one of the highlights this year was seeing your reaction to the unveiling of this. And it was so great to hear so many people who had so many joyous moments for this team because of your calls. So, in all sincerity, like this is pretty awesome.
Okay, you don't owe me that money anymore. Appreciate it. No, sir, all those people, very nice comments. I've been so fortunate. Puck dumped all the way down the Syracuse zone, and that's whistled down again.
Icings, Don, icings. That's been the story here the last 8 minutes of this first period, and the game has settled in here with not a lot happening in the last minute and a half. The shots are low, but I feel like the Amherst have had some good attempts towards the goal, and I also feel like it's very much reminiscent of what we've seen in this ultra-tight season series with Syracuse.
Face-off once again to the right of Subban. As Kulikin for the draw, pulls it back into the corner. Amherst have it. Pass through to center ice, grabbed at the red line, and that's directed right back in around behind the Amherst net by Thompson. In the near corner, Davies tries to slam it away. Crunch come up with it, pass in the slot, tipped away, and out over the line to center ice. Head by Weisbach getting a stick on it. Taken by the Crunch, shot in again around behind the Amherst net, comes out of the near wing. Reaching in for it, Murray make that Mersch, drops it back, pass through in front of the net, and a return up the left wing side. Mersch over the blue line, 20 seconds to go in the period. Mersch in the corner, throws it in the goal. I think he tried to put it maybe off the shoulder of Legacy, but it's up over the net, comes down the backboards, then flipped high in the air and down, and the Amherst chasing back for it. Netza wins the race, drops it off in the backboards for Bartkowski, passed along the near side, that's through, and down the other way, and the seconds are going to tick off here as they'll let her roll to the buzzer, which ends the period. So we've completed one here at the Blue Cross Arena. So far, so good for the Amherst. After a period, the Amherst on top, 2-1 over Syracuse Crunch, and this is the Amherst Broadcast Network. Would suit him better for being on the wing.
Absolutely, and tonight playing with Sean Malone and Isak Roseanne.
Puck pulled back in the Amherst zone, which is to our left here in the second period. We're underway now in the second. And they pass out the center ice along the near boards, picked off by Carrick, and the Crunch have it. Turned in over the Rochester line, that under the skate of Gonsalves, coming down the near corner. Amherst get to it. Played along the wall at the center ice, and a return pass moving in front. Feedback at the right side, off the post! A great shot by Yops. He nails the post to the short side. Big, huge rebound. Puck cleared all the way down around behind the Amherst net. Back for it goes Ciccone. As the ref takes a tumble, and the puck spun around out the center ice. Here come the Amherst again. Pete at the right side. Yelps moving in front. Tried to stuff in. Runs into Legacy. And a big pile of body. Legacy is still down on the ice. And the puck ends up in the near corner. Well, I'll tell you what, a hard charging beginning to this period.
What a shift by that line, the Yops line with Murray and Malone, or Murray and Mersch.
And the puck brought in, shot around behind the Amherst net, comes out of the near wing, back at the point. As Kepke shot in wide around the far boards, Amherst will chip it along the wall and out over the line to center ice. Back for it, the Crunch on the near wing, where that's dumped to the Rochester blue line along the near wing. They get tied up. Ends up in the corner, and the puck fired out to center ice. Again along the near wing. After it, taken by Kozak, he'll sweep it the rest of the way down. At the side of his head, grabbed by Legacy, and he holds on. But what a great pass that was to Yops, and he nailed the shot. Oh man, it just off the post.
Unbelievable. Just 20 seconds into the period, he took the feed from Brett Murray, and without hesitation. And then, you know, as the play cycled down to the other end and they reloaded and went after it again, Jobst had a tremendous individual net drive that ultimately wiped out him and the goaltender and led to a little bit more chaos. So considering that it was that line that put them in the lead late in period number one, really good sign for Jobst and company. It's kind of the veteran line, right? I mean, Jobst is 29 years of age, Mersch is 30, and Brett Murray's been around quite a bit here now for a 24-year-old.
Yeah, interesting. That's the first individual points that line, all members of that line have had this playoffs. Turned up the right side, dropped off along the near boards. Top, a little move to the right, then dumped down in around behind the net by Prow, and ends up in the far corner and cleared along the wall and down ice. Another icing coming up here. And that seems to be the storyline for the game. Icing, icing, icing.
It's okay. It allows here for more offensive zone face-offs and hopefully some potential, win some of these draws. One person we haven't talked about tonight, who's in game number 2 with the Amherst, is Zach Metza on the blue line. He's out here now. We'll see if they can win one back to the point and perhaps give him a look. I mean, he had terrific offensive numbers with national champions Quinnipiac this year.
And by the way, was the captain of that team. Up the right side, feeds it through. They tried to snake it through to the backdoor side, but that's blocked away into the near corner. He has been paired up with Bartkowski most of the night, but now he's out there with Davies on D. Cleared along the near side, Crunch to get out. Metza gets a stick on it. The puck pops in the air, comes out over the line to center ice. Amherst chase back for it. Dropped off in front of the net, now carried away and up ice by the Amherst. Leading the way, Roseanne. Drops it left wing side, feet back down the near boards, and a little flip shot, trying to pick the upper corner wide side was Kulik. Almost nailed it. Back at the far point, that one tipped out over the line to center ice. And then dumped back in, Amherst clear of the zone. And is chased down around behind the net by Myers. He'll then pull it out the right side. Throws it along the far boards to center ice. Big hit issued along the side boards by Picard. As the puck now at center ice, battled for at the red line and finally scooped down around behind the Amherst net. Laid off of the near corner. Up the right wing through to center ice. That's turned down into the Syracuse zone. Myers back for it. That'll be an icing call. Finding out, or interesting to see, that from what I've seen of the NHL games, physicality there has really picked up. In the American League, it seems like it's the other way. It's more attempts at skill hockey.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint why that happens, and obviously at the NHL level this year, we are seeing ridiculous numbers of success for power plays league-wide, and obviously the Amherst were able to take advantage here on the power play tonight too, but interesting trends to be sure, and I mean, it really stood out, Don. I mean, we just saw Picard absolutely rock Element, and there hasn't been a ton of that here tonight.
Puck is dropped. Of course, it might be one thing is that the difference between best of 3 series, best of 5 series, best of 7 series, you can feel like you can get away with more if you got a best of 7. You got tied.
Not to mention almost a week in between games too. So kind of gets you to reset and maybe doesn't have the same carryover effect like you would have.
Around behind the Amherst net and off into the near corner. That slipped behind the net to the other side. At the right point kept in. Myers winds up long shot. That around behind the net comes out of the near boards and kept in. Reifers will dump it behind the Amherst net. As they battle on the back boards and now played into the near corner. That's Saccone will then clear it around behind the net off of the far boards and out the other wing as it's played back on the near side and through to center ice. Here come the Amherst. Up the right wing, brought in by Passolt. Stop shot, kick save, rebound shot. Another pad save for Legacy. Nice job of sticking with it by Passolt. He didn't blow by the net. He was there waiting for his own rebound. Clear to head out to center ice. Reifers up the right wing. Enters the Amherst zone. Backhander in front. That's batted away. Amherst have a long feed through the center ice again. Far boards, Mersch getting to it. He'll turn it in around behind the net. Legacy stops it on the backboards and into the near corner. That's dropped off on the backboards. Again in the near corner. Pulled along the sideboards but picked off and brought to the center ice. Balsers leads the way for Syracuse. His pass got stuck at the blue line. Out of the zone, and then the Amherst will take it away. Bring it forward. He's upended. Yops hit by his own man right there. And he gets back up. It's all right, but on the near wing and a pass in over the Rochester blue line. That's tipped away and out to center ice. Back for Thompson. On his heels, Murray for the Amherst, but Thompson plays it along the wall. Out over the line. It's turned back in the zone, then taken away by Murray. Out on the near side, throws it through. Pass up the slot, back down the front shot. Oh, it's kicked away. About a half a dozen passes, maybe one too many. And the puck cleared to the far boards, is out over the line to center ice. Gorgeous passing, just couldn't finish it.
Yeah, Prow had the last look at it, and it was on a tee for him, so it's hard to accuse overpassing, but wow, that was impressive offensive zone work by the Amherst.
Dumped around behind the net, all the way in the far corner. Nice hit there by Kozak, kept in at the left point by Davies. Scooped off the boards around behind the Syracuse net. And then it spun along the glass up and out of play, deflected out, so no penalty. 15:03 to go here in the second period. 2-1 lead for the Amherst, and seems like the game's pace is picking up a little here.
Wow, that was something else, just the passing. It all started with Murray with a terrific feed inside the line, and they just went back and forth and then right to the middle of the ice. And Malone maybe had the best look before he passed it to the middle. It was a sharper angle one-timer, but he's a left shot, so his angle actually was quite good. Nonetheless, they'll continue the zone time here, try to take advantage of it.
Cleared out to center ice, up the left wing for Walcott. That might be his first shift. Shot off the far board, sharp angle, grabbed by Subban, holds on, and now we get a massive scrum in front of the Amerks net. Everybody renewing acquaintances. Linesman stepping in. Order seemingly being restored. Just looking on the video board overhead, Weisbach standing next to that one linesman. I didn't notice the linesman. He's huge.
Well,
who is that one? I'm not sure who that is, but he's like a basketball player.
We mentioned earlier as well the brief little switching of the defense pairs, but we're back to seeing Ciccone with Davies here.
That's Mitchell Hunt, the linesman. Puck drop, pulled back at the right point, kept in. On the sideboards, there's a shot in, but that blocked and now behind the net. Hacked out on the other side, Rusek gets to it and he'll slip it up ice. Carried forward, here's Kulich up the left wing, his shot missed just wide. And around the near boards, turned down and down to the Rochester blue line. Amerks back for it. Carried ahead up the left wing side, tipped it over the line by Rusek. Chasing after it on the backboards as he then gets tied up with Myers in the corner, stolen away by the Amerks feet in front of the shot. Another great save by Lagacé in front of the net. As robbed on that one was Weisbach. Well, I'll tell you, Lagacé is coming up big here in the second period.
Yeah, I think Weisbach was able to feed it to Kulich here as he was just found himself perfect separation just below the hash mark. And this was after Kulich had a chance on the rush, and he tried to go blocker side on Lagacé, and he was able to just squeeze it there with no significant rebound. So good to see Kulich coming back in and being right around it, whether it's on the rush or in front of the goal.
14:23 to go in the second period. Amerks up 2-1. Rochester goals by Rosayan and Mersch, each for their first of the playoffs. Lift in the air out to center ice. That's knocked out by Metza. Pass forward. That's stuck there, but getting to it, Olszewski then will bang it in around behind the Syracuse net. Lagacé will shoot it around the near boards and reaching in for it. Passolt has that around behind the net, taken by Thompson of the crunch, and his feet along the far boards, and it's out to center ice on the near wing. Stepping up on it as Metza dumps Crozier, and the puck on the far boards. Shot in wide of the Amerks net at the near point, kept in, long shot in from there, and the puck wide, coming down and back at the near point. Carlisle tried to keep it in, but the Amerks draw it away out over the line to center ice. Olszewski getting a return pass, tied up, can't get away from Carlisle. Looked like a hold, but no call, and the puck in the near corner, reaching in for Weisbach. Fans are agreeing with me. And the puck around behind the net, right out on the near wing, where it's taken, swept off in the near corner. Have to point that out because it doesn't happen that often. On the blue line, it turned in over the line, around behind the Amerks net. Chased down there on the far boards, out to center ice, and the crunch up with it, will dump it in again. Behind the Amerks net, down to 13:10 to go here in the second period. Puck batted around behind the Amerks net, played to the near boards, and up with it is Mersch. Drops it off in front of the net. Feed through to center ice. That's pulled in over the line. Jobs dropping it off. Murray lays it back for Mersch. He'll then play it back at the point. Moving in proud, but couldn't tee it up for the shot. Now he takes and dumps it down in the corner. Mersch taking it out of the near side, reversing it along the sideboards. And Prow is upended. Mersch moving back in to help out. That wasn't Prow, he's back there. And now away to center ice, in over the line. Barry Ballet up the left side, moving in. Couldn't get a shot away as he's pushed wide of the net. And around behind, dropped off on the near boards. And the puck tied up, dumped it behind the feet in front of shot, and they score. Pulled off the backboards out in front. That one banged down inside the lower right corner as the Crunch have come back once again and tied this one up.
Well, he's been their leading point getter through this series, and it continues now, a multi-point game for Gonzalez. This was after an excellent defensive play by Pilot on what looked like a clear opportunity for the Crunch. Instead, it ends up going behind the goal. Who else but Alex Barry-Boulet involved in setting it out in front for Gonzalez to tie this game at 2.
Even up. As we have now 12 and a half to go in the second period. Back around behind the Amerks net. Dropped out of the near wing, played in the corner, around to the far point, kept in by Thompson. Top of the slot. Kepke's shot, turnaround shot there by Balsers, and the puck blocked around the far side. Dug out, pulled down the corner by Kepke. Behind the Amerks net, around to the near point, kept in, and Carlisle will shoot it off the backboards and behind the Amerks net again. Comes out in front, pulled away by Malone. Throws it out to center ice, hopped over the stick of Rosé, but he comes up with it again. It's kind of like glue on the end of his stick. Dumped all the way down the corner, then crashes to the backboards. And the puck coming down in the near corner, Malone in, and Rosé in also. As it's drawn around behind the Amerks down to the far side, down from the left point, but the Amerks couldn't keep it in. That's pulled out to center ice, kept it. As he's tied up, the Amerks take it back. Amerks have it in front of their own net. Tied up at 2 now with 11.5 to go in the second period. In the right wing side, a little bit too far out in front of Olszewski. He'll chase it down the corner, tying up there. Puck behind the net to the other corner, and a feed up the slot is through to center ice. Carried forward up the near wing, brought in over the line, backhander to the back door, and that out of the reach of Robert. The Amerks will bring it away. Out to center ice on the return, up the right wing, in over the line, Kulik, trying to break in on goal. He's hooked, and no call. Puck coming down the corner. Backhander out in front of the net, picked off, and cleared along the wall to center ice. Backboard pilot on the near side. Prow feeds it forward. That went up in the air, ends up with the player bench, and now we get an entanglement in front of the Amerks net. 2 players went down. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, Edmonds, and the Amerks player coming up, Weisbach, went right after and gave him a pretty good pop, and so we'll see if there be any penalties coming up. They're both going to go. So we have a timeout, 10:59 to go. Second period, we're tied at 2, and this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. This will be coincidental penalties. Edmonds of the Crunch and Weisbach of the Amerks. Each gone for 2. And so it'll be 4 skaters aside. A little more room to maneuver out there.
Edmonds gets a cross-checking call. Weisbach for roughing on the play. And Yuri Kulik almost drew a penalty in the last sequence. Here he is out centering this for the face-off in this 4-on-4 situation. I think he's looked really good in his return.
Amerks have it back in their own zone. Up with it, down carried forward. As Prow drops it back, continuing on Rusek, works wide to the left side, enters the Syracuse zone, off in the corner, spins off there.
Time of the penalty,
and then shoot it off the boards, round to the near point, down from the right point. Prow gets to it to keep it in. He's double teamed, and the puck pops loose and carried away now by the Crunch. Brings it out over the line, but spinning back inside of his blue line is Myers. Backpedaling in front of his net. Turns it to the near side for Carrick. Feet through the center ice. Continuing on. Kepke over the Rochester line. Takes a shot. And getting a piece of it is Subban. And the puck around behind the net. To the far point. Out over the line. Looked like dumped back in offside, but no call. Puck is down inside the Syracuse blue line. Crunch have it back and move up ice again. Line to the left side over the blue line. Reifers drops it to the far boards. Turn back and through to the near point for Carlisle. Moving up the left wing side, around behind the Amerks net, wrap around a tip, and that's blocked away by Subban, and the puck is out of the zone to center ice. Back for it goes Thompson, throws it up the right wing, and that's turned through to center ice. Riding over the Rochester line, Barry Paulet, wrist shot up over top of the net, comes down on the backboards and around and into the near corner. It's chased down the corner boards, and along the near wing at the left point kept in. Jones to the other side. And a shot toward the net, pad save, Subban rebound, but the Amerks are there to bring it away. Davies works to center ice, slows it up, spins back inside of his blue line. Retreat all the way back in front of his net, now picks up speed, brings it away. Wide to the left side, 23 seconds to go in the coincidental liners. Round behind the net on the near wing, and that one got away. It's recovered by the Crunch and behind their own net. And a pass to the right side through the center ice, to the red line, in over the Rochester blue line along the near wing. Carried down the corner by Forte, throws it through in front, nobody there, and the Amerks pick it up. Bartkowski lays it behind his net for Ciccone, and it's pipped up the right wing side to center ice. Penalties expired, teams are at full strength. In over the line, scooped down the corner, out behind the net for Yops, but couldn't come up with it, and the puck fed to the blue line, kept in by Ciccone. Turns a wrist shot in, and hits a body in front of the net, ends up in the far corner. Out to the point, kept in, the Amerks get a hold of it again. Dropping it out top, Ciccone on the right side, one-time shot, Rusek, and might have got off the glove of Legacy, off the boards around to the far point. Amerks will dump it behind the net, back on the near wing. It's Rusek out to the far point again, top of the slot, Ciccone takes a shot off the stick of Legacy in the far corner. Amerks digging it out there. as they tie up, get a hold of it, back to the left point, kept in. Top of the slot, Richter in, missed the net. On the near board, Ciccone throws it toward the front, but that around behind comes out on the far boards. Backhand to the near point for Ciccone. On the right wing side, giving it off. Burst for the shot in. Glove stop, Legacy, who holds up for a face-off. 8:06 to go here in the second, and we're even at 2, and this is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Back at the Blue Cross Arena, I'm Don Stevens alongside Brian Duff of the Buffalo Sabres telecasts, and also the, what do you call your show anyway at noon?
Sabres Live.
All right. That's interesting. I bet that took a while to come up with that name. Puck at the near point, kept it dumped in down in the corner. And the thing is, it was used to be, what, a couple hours. Now it's 1 hour, so you got the...
People can only handle so much of Marty.
I was going to say, you're going to get a whole lot more information faster this way now.
It's like listening to it at twice the speed.
There you go. See, you're not taking as much time and getting double the information. Dumped all the way down ice, in and around behind the Syracuse net. The Amerks on the attack, trying to get the lead back. Twice they've had the lead, and twice the Crunch have come back and tied it. And out in the slot, feed to the side of the net. Oh, trying to slip it inside the left post. Mersch just went wide, comes down behind the net. Pulled around the near boards, down for the point. That's blocked into the corner and slammed behind the net by Ciccone to the far side. Getting to it, Thompson for the Crunch will rip it along the boards and down, and this will be icing once again. Something new and different, an icing call. By the way, you deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop at your local Nissan dealership and NissanUSA.com.
Well, prior to that icing and prior to the commercial break, I'm not sure I've seen a shift where Joe Ciccone had the puck as often as he did. And then the coach was recognizing that. They had the commercial break. They kept him out on the ice with Davies, and they had a little bit more offensive zone time there with Mersch having a great chance. So nice to see maybe unlikely sources stepping up and providing some offense.
I think he's been a great addition this year. Ciccone brought in mid-season, puck backhanded around behind the net, out on the other side. Birds dumped down the corner, away to center ice, swept the rest of the way down the Amerks zone and turning back for it. Goes Metza, he'll lay it up the wall, and that's turned out over the line to center ice. Crunch take it again, scoop it in over the Rochester line, Amerks recover it. On the near side, up the right wing, Rosé into center ice. He'll then turn it down the zone. That's picked up by the Crunch, sent the other way to the Amerks blue line, where it's then scooped into the corner. Macford goes Metza. Brings it around the boards out of the near wing for Kozak, dropped off, and now through the center ice, drop pass once again for Kozak. Oh good, we're getting the wave going, so we'll miss half the play here. Shot around behind the net on the other side as the puck is on the backboards, trying to bring it out in front. At least we don't get the popcorn guy, or I mean the cotton candy guy up and down the aisles anymore. Puck at the far corner, that's dug out, and a pass up the wall. It's through and down ice in the Amerks zone. Back for it goes Prow. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since we've seen the wave. And you know what? It's going the wrong way. It never went that way before that I remember. Now it's dumped in the Amerks zone along the near boards and in the corner round behind the net. That's cleared along the far side, back to the right point, kept in and dumped in behind the net. Comes out in front, the Amerks dig it out and bring it away, and a pass along the near boards to the point, sneaks through to center ice. Bouncing puck to the far boards. He's back in the zone. Thompson will throw it out of the zone to center ice. Turned back inside the Syracuse blue line on the forecheck. Weisbach almost came up with it, but now he heads for the bench on a change, and the Crunch will clear it up the right wing. Through to center ice in the Amerks zone, dropped off in the side boards, and they feed toward the net around to the near point where it's kept in at the left point by Thompson. He'll carry it down the corner, chased by Picard, takes a shot, and across the goal mouth out the other side. Slammed it behind the Amerks net again as they tie up on the backboards. Davies dinks it out. Pass up the left wing, but that bounced away, shot right back into the Amerks zone. Off of the near corner. And it's chased down by Ciccone. We were talking about him a minute ago, coming over in a trade with Dallas. For Laxton, shot from the left point, kept in, scooped around behind the net to the other corner. Puck laid in behind, Crunch have it, Balsers. They'll put it back at the left point where it's kept in by Jones. Takes a shot, but knocked down. Balsers gets it for the Crunch, and it bounces out in on goal, grabbed by Subban, and he holds on for a face-off. 4:40 to go in the second period. Anybody's game, we're tied at 2. This is the Amerks Broadcast Network. Face-off coming up in the Amerks zone. 4:40 to go in the second period. We're tied at 2. Look at that handsome guy.
There he is again.
Yeah, that's something. It's that giant head on that bed sheet or whatever it is. Got great moves, though. Puck drop, round behind the net. Ciccone out the other side, pass up the wall, and that ends up into the stands and on a play. Reminder, tomorrow night, the Nighthawks are here. The cross action, as Nighthawks will be here. And let's see, of course, representing the Bandits is Brian Duff, and they're in Albany, you said, right?
Yeah, they've already got first place in the East locked up. Rochester's going to find themselves in a battle with Toronto when the playoffs begin, or with Buffalo, depending on the outcome of Halifax and Georgia this weekend as well. So super exciting play in the Eastern Conference, and can't wait to see how it all unfolds, and really glad that the Nighthawks were able to get that spot locked up.
Well, I'll tell you what a battle that would be between the Amerks and Buffalo. I don't know about on the field, but in the stands it probably would be a big battle.
Now, they've had some terrific head-to-head games this year too, and the Nighthawks have come a long way in a short period of time. So
what a difference from last year to this.
Absolutely.
Out to center ice, taken by the Amerks, scooped in over the line, down into the corner. Chased back by the Crunch in their own zone, as upended behind the net is Carrick around the far boards. Syracuse plays it along the wall, out over the line to center ice, and continuing ahead up the near wing. Balsers brings it in on the left wing side, spinning off in the corner. It's swept along the boards on the near side, bouncing down in the corner, getting to it Davies, but taken away behind the net. Centering pass out top, pass on the right side. That's kept in and scooped around behind the net by Myers. And behind the Rochester net, dug out and brought away now by Davies. Down to 3:40 to go in the second period. That's through to center ice, played along the near wing, and recovered and moving forward now. There goes another stick flying up in the air. And pulled in on the left wing side by Walcott, trying to break it on goal. Pass. That's tipped away, and the Amerks turn it the other way up ice. Here comes Malone, has Metz of the defenseman with him, throws it around behind the net for Malone, gets the return pass. Off in the far corner, is tied up there, as the puck still spun on the sideboards, moving in Kozak trying to dig it out. That's pulled behind the net. Crunch have it. Dropped off in the backboards. Now flipped in the air out to center ice. Down to the Rochester line. The Amerks recovering the puck with 3 minutes to go in the second period. Metz off the right wing will drop it back. Continuing on now, Pinot on the left wing, and that's then deflected in around behind the Syracuse net. Jones back for the Crunch. Drops it backboards. That's then sent along the near wall out of the zone. The Amerks to recover it. On the far side, up over the red line, flipped in around behind the net, comes down the near boards, and Kulik will shovel it one-handed down to the backboards. Rusak is hammered up against the backboards, gets back up again, pops loose. Amerks have it through to the right point, kept in by Prow. Takes a look around, being chased, drops the left wing side, a shot in the goal, knocked down in front, and the loose puck grabbed by Legacy, and he holds on for the face-off. 2:24 to go in the second period, tied at 2.
What a hard-working shift by Rusak. He was absolutely rocked into the boards by Jones, but then found himself as the net front guy seconds later and was causing a little bit of mayhem in front of Legacy. There was maybe just one opportunity the Amerks had to pass out front there, but I don't think Kulik saw the opportunity. Yet, I'm a little surprised on that the shots are as low as they are, based on how much zone time the Amerks have seemingly had in this period. So 14-13 right now, shot advantage in favor of the visitors in this 2-2 game.
Holiday Inn downtown Rochester, the official hotel of the Amerks, just a block from the arena at 70 State Street. Visit them for a relaxing night and great food. In a goal, grabbed once again and held on to by Legacy, and we'll have a little extra pushing and shoving. Carlisle there for the Crunch, and Murray for the Amerks. Two pretty big boys right there, locking horns.
Yeah, Murray's been really good in this game, not only in that first period penalty kill sequence, but he's been the primary passer in a lot of the offensive chances that they've had tonight. He's just been really calm with it. Takes that extra half second in the offensive zone to, you know, let a defender blow by, make a pass back to the blue liners. It's been a nice game for him, and obviously he had a primary on the Mersch goal that had the Amerks up 2-1 late in the first.
Yops will step in for the face-off for the Amerks. Only one goal scored this period, that by the Crunch. Coming back to tie it up again. Mersch on the left wing, carrying down the corner, throws it in on goal. Oh, it just bounced into the pad of Legacy. He didn't see it coming, but made the stop, finally found the handle on it, holds on, and once again we'll have a massive scramble in front of the net.
Yeah, Murray had the good look, and was thwarted by Legacy, and then again is tangled up with another member of the Crunch. This time it's Myers after he locked up with Carlisle just before.
And there's sticks laying all over the place.
And Jobst, of course, was right in there as Murray was attempting to get that shot or the rebound attempt as well. And here we go again.
Yeah, we got them grabbed onto Murray, and he tosses. Who's the Syracuse player? Now we got everybody pairing off. All the gloves are dropped, and we get them all out on the ice. And so we got penalties coming up. We're going to have a whole lot of more penalties coming up here.
Murray is manhandling whoever he's got. He's wrestled him to the ice 3 times now. That's Gonzalez.
Just like a rag doll.
Yeah, he's not really throwing any punches. He just and then over here,
we got Carrick tied up with.
Is that Jobst?
No, I don't think so.
No, sorry, Ciccone.
No, it's Mershon. Oh, yeah, it is Ciccone. I'm looking at the back of the head of some of our bandit brothers now. As the massive penalties will be called here.
Well, this has the rally.
Somebody goes right back at Davies. He's being escorted toward the bench by the linesman, and he takes a shot at Davies.
Yeah, that was Carrick.
And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, I would say that the Amerks were bordering on getting the first penalty out of all that based on how it started to unfold, but then there was probably a little over-aggression by Syracuse at the end, which I think opens the door for the officials to probably call this a wash. We'll see how it goes.
Well, right now I see 2 players in the Rochester box, and yeah, there's 2 players in the Syracuse box right now, but I think there was at least one that went to the locker room, perhaps one from each team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but this as we're getting a replay on the big board of just how Brett Murray was absolutely manhandling the Syracuse player Gonzalez.
There's Murray, you know, ordinarily very even-tempered, and I think it was Gonzalez skated by him, must have said something to him, because all of a sudden Murray grabbed onto him and tossed him aside.
But that line, like, what a game, but even without scoring this period, the number of looks they've had, but every single time they're causing a little bit of angst for Legacy and the defenders. Like, Jobst has had no hesitation, just bowling ball style into the crease. And, you know, on consecutive plays, we saw Murray involved in scrums, and then eventually it boils over. This is the type of, you know, kind of combined effort that the coach was really expecting and wanting to see as this game evolved tonight. And clearly, as everyone's on their feet here at Blue Cross Arena, it has sparked renewed interest in this one, which is tied at 2.
All right, we'll get all of this penalty stuff sorted out. Anyway, can be better than passing miles of brake lights on the way from Rochester to New York City. Taking the train and saving 15% on Amtrak travel. Your next New York State adventure just an Amtrak away. Visit Amtrak.com for details, and restrictions apply. And by the way, the collector's photo pack is still available for purchase. Right now, there's cards in the collector's pack set presented by the UPS store, commemorating various moments in the 22-23 season. Go to Amherst.com/cards to purchase your set for just $10.
The cards are amazing. I saw them at the pregame happy hour at the Genesee Brew House. What a unique idea to capture the individual moments of this season. And for collectors, it is absolutely a must-have.
Well, I wonder if we could get a picture of the moment that just happened here in the next card set.
Yeah, we could also capture a lot of guys in the penalty box right now, and as we suspected, it doesn't appear, we're obviously playing 4-on-4 here, so no manpower advantage.
Puck dumped around behind the Syracuse net and off in the far corner. Myers after it there. Lays it back on the back boards. The only ones that are showing on the score clock are Murray. And for Syracuse, Gonzalez. Feed in front, quick shot, and save Legacy. Perfectly set up in front. And the shot taken by Kulik. He tried for a low one out in front again. Kulik has a turnaround shot. Legacy gets a piece of it. And the near wing is dumped around behind the net. Well, I don't know that Kulik's going to get many more chances like the last 2 he's just had. as the puck along the sideboards, back at the point, is hauled down, but that was with a hand, so that'll stop play. And hand pass, face-off coming up at the Syracuse blue line. Legacy has been standing on his head.
Wow, that was just a phenomenal left pad save on Kulik the first time, and then as they continued to work, and Lucas Rusek was doing so much of that hard work despite taking the physical contact along the boards, it all of a sudden allowed Kulik to come from beside the goal, just below the goal line, worked his way out front, only to get thwarted once again. You know, he led the Amherst in shots in the first period. In his return to action tonight, he has absolutely been all around it.
And he led the Amherst in the regular season in shots.
And goals, of course, in his rookie season.
39,
and he's now 19, by the way. He's aged a whole lot.
That whole line has done. They all had birthdays in the same week, and it's been a really impressive showing again for them tonight.
Yeah, we started off the season with 4 teenagers in the lineup. I think there's just one now.
Number 81,
and that's Kulik at 19. Buckle on the far boards. Davies digs it out. Carries it all the way back to the blue line. Just barely managed to keep it in. Feet in the slot, moving in on goal. Backhand, they score! What a great backhand shot by the Amherst. That's huge. Who was it to put that one away?
Sean Malone, after an incredible feed from Linus Weisbach. Once again, we saw it early in this game, and we're seeing it again now. He's been really dialed in, and the Amherst not afraid to use the entire width of the ice. The puck was barely kept alive just inside this line, and from the near boards with a pass to the far side of the slot, Weisbach was able to hit Malone, and this is pretty much what you have to do right now, I think, when you've got a goaltender as dialed in as Legacy. He's been staring down the shot so well. Malone is able to make that move at the last second at the top of the crease and put it home.
And Malone had a player all wrapped up on his back, and he carried it across, going across the goal mouth to the backhander, able to scoop it in. So what a great individual effort there by Malone. Feed to the back door, and a goal that one knocked aside. Hands unable to quite get the shot away was Kozak. That's poked away by Legacy, and now up the far boards to center ice. It's recovered by the Amherst, pushed forward, and carried in over the line up the right side. Down the corner, spinning around Pilot, looking for help, but the puck in the corner is still controlled by the Amherst. Rosean drops it back in the slot, turns, looks it over, chips it through to the near point. Chased down by Pilot, but he'll then turn it back out over the line to center ice. As going to the net. I was trying to see who that is. Kozak, it looks like. Holding onto his back. He is off the ice on the bench. And the puck along the near side. As we have the coincidentals now expiring. Teams are at full strength. Brought away and up ice, a feed forward. Almost catching Murray on a breakaway. And the puck down in the crunch zone, recovered there by Syracuse. Feed ahead to center ice up the left wing. Forte getting tied up there. Whistle stops play as the period ends. But again, we have some more penalties. Forte giving the Amherst player a cross-check.
Yeah, that was Malone and Forte getting involved. And that was after Davies had rocked Gonsalves after he came out of the penalty box. So there's an awful lot to keep an eye on right now, Don. And I'll tell you, I think that whole, over-emotional moment where so many players got involved and we ended up with coincidentals. The Amherst really looked strong during that 4-on-4 play, took the lead, had another great opportunity seconds later when Pilot fed Kozak. So strong end to this second period by Rochester.
So the Amherst have regained the lead here. Let's see if they can hold on to it this time. It's the Amherst 3, the Crunch 2 at the end of 2 periods. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. As we do have each team with 1 in the box, those have to be the 10-minute misconduct penalties. So here we go. The Amherst now shoot the net to my left, and it is Subban and goal down to our right as the puck is dropped or underway. Here's the call on the last goal.
Scored by number 17, Sean Malone.
Wow, what a gorgeous goal it was.
With the assist to number 13, Linus Weisbach. And number 4, Jeremy Davies.
And that put the Amherst up 3-2. That's cleared along the boards down inside the Syracuse blue line, but whistled down. As well, a face-off coming up out at center ice. 19:28 to go in the third, and a 3-2 Rochester lead.
And just to reiterate, when you mentioned the misconducts, they were 10-minute misconducts to Trevor Carrick of the Crunch and Joseph Ciccone of the Amherst. That happened at 17:47, so we're not going to see them have the opportunity to vacate the box until only roughly 7 minutes here into this third period.
Puck now fired around behind the Amherst net, coming down the near corner. And chased back as Bartkowski sweeps it behind his net, but intercepted there by Kepke. in the far corner. Then he's pinned to the wall by Pilot. It's back at the left point, kept in. Long shot on his knees. Subban is able to find the puck, grabs it, holds on. A face-off coming up in the Amherst zone.
Good job by the defense in front of Subban Barkowski to tie up his man so there weren't extra attempts at that rebound opportunity. And again, focus on the blue line position here, because without Ciccone, we'll see if we're going to get maybe a little bit more ice time for Zach Metza, or whether we just see, you know, the Amherst kind of go down to 4 defensemen here for the next 7-8 minutes.
Face off to Subban's right. And again, they jump. Now the puck drop. That in the corner. Is cleared along the wall and carried forward by the Amherst. Out over the line to center ice. Up the right wing. Malone will bang it off the boards. Rest the way down around behind the Syracuse net. In the far corner. That's cleared up the wall and out of the zone. Then reaching in for it. That's chipped down into the corner by Urzayan, but blocked away and out to center ice again. Amherst recovered. Bartkowski out to the far side. That's played along through and down ice by Pilot and chased back around behind the net by the Crunch. That's Thompson up the near wing for Syracuse, head to center ice, and turned the rest of the way down inside the Rochester blue line. The Amherst will spin it forward to center ice, but carried back in the zone, spinning around, and taken down Malone, as that one tipped out over the line to center ice, recovered by the Crunch. They had to clear the zone and do. Just getting going here, early stages of the third period, and up the left wing side. Long shot in, stick stop Subban, puck comes down the corner. Cleared along the wall, Edmonds will drop it behind the Amherst net. That's cycled around the near side. Tied up as moving down for the point was Crozier. It's shot behind the Amherst net again, and the pass picked off there by Prow. Shovels a backhander to the near point. That's knocked down by Crozier of the Crunch, keeping it in. He'll backhand it down into the near corner, and the Crunch with it. Back at the right point again. Long shot in. That missed wide around the far boards, getting to it. Weisbach tried to chip it along the wall. Gets it right back off a leg, and the Amherst have it. Flipped high in the air to center ice. Turned in over the line, trying to get away was Kulik, but that bouncing away, and the puck recovered by the Crunch, or by the Amherst in their own zone. Pass through to center ice, off the stick of Murray, rest the way down. Bouncing in on goal, swept aside by Legacy. Found behind the net, out of the near wing at the left point, kept in. Long shot toward the net. Hits a body in front, didn't make it through. Turned out of the near wing and through to center ice and up the left wing, entering the Amherst zone. Got out into the slot. Spinning back, Gonzalez got an Amherst player. That looks like Murray heading for the bench, and he's hobbling.
Yeah, he was hit by the Merce shot.
And the puck comes out to center ice. It's picked off there and turned back in the Rochester zone. Amherst have it as he's being attended to by the Amherst trainer, Michael Dass, but I guess it looks like maybe he's just being allowed to sort of work that one off. Puck around behind the net as it's on the backboards and in behind, trying to dig it off Picard. Puck rolling into the far corner as that's along the wall out of the zone to center ice. Turned back again and shot around behind the Amherst net. That line, Olszewski, Passolt, and Picard. And Subban gets tied up and the collision goes down, they get back up again. So I was saying that line, they don't see a whole lot of ice time, but they've been made very effective use of their time that they've been out there. There's a penalty coming up here as the Amherst have a little bit of a talking to the Syracuse player, Metza, tying up over in the corner. Was this an interference penalty against the French? Goalie interference?
It was, I mean, Picard's going off here. The contact was made by, was it Kachkovic? With Subban when he got tangled up there behind the goal line. So obviously less than ideal situation here, perhaps in retaliation by the Amherst as they end up Picard going off. And you just talked about how the Olszewski line had been effective in the minutes they've been getting here tonight.
Well, I missed that one.
Well, it looked like he got tied up behind the goal line, maybe a little bit of a hook on Picard after he lost control of the puck. But boy, oh boy.
Face-off coming to the right of Subban. Has Picard in the box, so another power play opportunity. Second of the game for Syracuse. 0 for 1 in this game so far. And the puck along the left wing side of the point kept in. Hooking is the call on Picard. Puck behind the net, scooped along the boards and not out over the line to center ice. Crunch back forward around behind their net. Start to bring it away up the slot, then drop back once again. Continuing on, it's Barret-Ballet, enters the Amherst zone up the left wing side, looking for, that was Reifers rather, and the pass intercepted, cleared away down ice by the Amherst. Go back for it, go the crunch. Minute 25 to go in the Rochester penalty. Amherst 3, Syracuse 2. Played so far 4 minutes of this period. Then scooped in over the Rochester line and down in the near corner. Backhanded behind the net to the other side. Reifers getting to it, reversing it off in the near corner. Barry Belay back at the point for Carlisle. Amherst get a piece of that one. Nice job by Yops. Still steals it away and breaking up the right wing and a goal, moving in, shoots, scores! Yops, a short-hander. Amherst take a 4-2 lead.
That is so fitting for his first career AHL playoff goal. Mason Yops in shorthanded fashion after a bit of a weak call on Picard had the Amherst down a man. It was not an easy retrieval for him. He had to go to the far boards in the offensive zone and then angle back towards the net. But Yops has been just full of energy from the get-go here tonight, and not unlike Malone on the last Amherst goal, it's that move at the top of the crease, this time going to the blocker side on Legacy and tucking it around, doubling the Amherst lead.
Boy, that's a beauty. Thing of beauty to watch, that goal.
Absolutely.
Right to left across the goal mouth.
Career year for Yops. He had 14 in the regular season, and now he finally has his first in AHL playoff action.
And he did it with hard work. Great job there by Yops. So the Amherst now with a 2-goal lead, first time in the series. And the puck dropped and pulled along the near side. Balzer's with it around behind the Amherst net, carries it all the way to the far corner and drops it back at the point. Edmonds, as he moves around the Amherst player, the puck comes out in front, bouncing out top of the slot, and that's out of the zone to center ice. French recovering into their own blue line along the near wing. Balzers throws it to the far boards, re-entering the Amherst zone, pass in front. Edmonds takes it there, chased down the corner.
The playoffs, scored by number 26, Mason Yops. Unassisted, that's Yops, unassisted.
Unassisted, short-handed goal shot in, grabbed by Subban, holds on for a face-off. 20 seconds to go in the Picard penalty.
You know, Bartkowski had done a really nice job on the penalty kill earlier in the sequence, but when you hear that announcement and the emphasis on unassisted, it truly was all Yops doing. He was pressuring the point, he intercepted the Carlisle pass across, and then just tracked it down and stayed with it. There's a lot of times, you know, whether you're lacking energy or you don't want to get caught in a tough position on the PK, that maybe you just back off a little. There was nothing but net drive coming for Yops on that play.
He's had, I'll tell you what, he's had a determined attitude this season. And as you mentioned, yeah, his career year so far. Puck out top of the slot, Thompson keeps it on the right side. One-timer, Barry Belay, but missed. That's around to the far point, kept in. Again to the right side for Barry Belay, has 2 assists in this game. To add to the 2 he already had. He feed in a goal, return shot, and chipped up under the crossbar. Reifers scores. That was knocked down in front of the net. Reifers getting to it. Just able to chip it up under the crossbar. Once again, it's a 1-goal game.
You called it. It was just going to the net on the rebound opportunity, and Reifers, right as the Amherst were getting back to full strength and Picard had come out of the box. Just a determined effort, and we've seen it from this line. It's going to be another point for Alex Barré-Boulet, and you know, Reifers with 2 in the game. We're back to a 1-goal lead for the Amherst with 14:35 to go.
Well, Reifers, it's his second of the night, second of the playoffs. As you said, Barry Belay will get an assist. That'll give him 3 assists in the game, and so the Amherst lead cut to just 1 now as the puck is dropped. And by the way, that was after the penalty had expired. The goal at 5:25, the penalty at 3:24. So that should not be a power play goal.
No, Picard had definitely stepped onto the ice at that point.
You know, in essence, you're still shorthanded because
Absolutely.
the guy's got to go all the way from the penalty box to get in the play, but it statistically won't count as a power play.
No, and that Crunch really had net front presence there. Kepke was banging away at it too simultaneously with Reifers, so there was a lot to handle for Subban, and obviously it's another quick response goal by the Crunch.
Right off ice, now on the left side, Rusek will scoop it in.
Rifles from Barré-Boulet and Thompson.
Thompson getting the other assist, puck dumped down the Amherst zone, chased after in the far corner. Forte being bumped there by Metza, and the puck directed around behind the net out of the near boards. Still in the Rochester zone. Pulled out over the line to center ice. Now we have a tripping penalty coming up here. Tripping is the call, and Forte will be heading to the penalty box. The Amherst will have a power play coming up.
With exactly 14 minutes to go in the period, the significance there, if it was 13:59, they would be taking a commercial break in all likelihood, and a little bit more regroup time. But the good news for the Amherst is they did capitalize on that first period power play after going 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series. So
oh, wait a minute, that's Walcott going off.
it is Walcott, yeah.
No, now he comes back out. What they're doing is obviously wasting time.
Well, I'm not sure what the point of wasting time at this point would be, but there does appear to be a little bit of confusion.
Well, right now they don't have anybody in the box, do they?
No, sir. So
And there's no time on the penalty clock.
But the referee is now once again signaling to the crunch. But yeah, it does not look like there's now going to be a penalty.
Well, the referee definitely had his arm in the air, then he showed the tripping signal.
Yes, he did.
And he pointed the penalty box.
I'm sorry, I'm having a terrible moment because I'm thinking, did I just make that up in my mind, what we saw? But
now the referees are going to talk it over.
Oh boy. Rusek was the one that was taken down. He had the puck.
And Coach Appert standing up at the front of the box yelling at the referee, how can you take back a penalty?
It's not like, you know, we're talking about a major situation where you're conferring with linesmen and what have you. Now we got another whistle. We should have a commercial break.
Quick shot in, grabbed by Subban, holds on for a face-off, 13:55 to go in the third period. 4-3 Rochester lead. This is the Amherst Broadcast Network. Well, we're still scratching our heads here as to how do you call a penalty and then take it away.
I wish I had an answer for you, Don. I don't know. I've gone back and watched it repeatedly. Walcott knew that he tripped Rusek. Walcott went over to the penalty bench, and then all of a sudden was summoned out of there, and on we go.
So teams are at full strength. Puck cleared around the boards out to center ice. Weisbach spins it in over the line. Then rolling toward the net, but take it away. Jump down ice, and Malone went after Reifers, only got him halfway and ended up in the boards himself. Puck in on the Amherst net, recovered there by Davies. Turns back, throws it to the near side. Bartkowski up the left wing, makes his way to center ice. The red line over the blue line, looking like a 20-year-old winger as the puck now dumped in along the near boards, and is recovered and pulled out over the line to center ice again by Syracuse. Into the Rochester zone, feet in front, moving in a shot, getting the blocker on it is Subban as he robs the Syracuse player. Catch out who that is.
Walcott.
All right, Walcott going for the shot. Great save there by Subban, getting the blocker on it. And the puck around the boards out to center ice, up the left wing. Turned in over the Rochester line. Evers back checking, able to tip it away, but not out, still kept in. On the far boards, puck slammed along the wall. Dropped back in the corner. Pilot will spin it around the near side. And Murray is back on the ice now, and the puck out to center ice. Up the left wing and over the line. Kozak moving in on goal. Shoots. Where's the puck? It goes wide, comes down behind the net. Boy, I thought he tipped that one in. Out over the line to center ice. As the puck dumped in again around behind the Syracuse net. We have a penalty coming up here. This will be to the Amherst. Boy, I'll tell you, they ran after Pilot. He came up with the stick to protect himself, and now he's going to be called. High sticking, puck down the zone, whistle stops play, and it'll be a high sticking penalty to Pilot. Okay, let's wave this one off.
I would be surprised if that happens again. The referees may have felt that they missed a call when Walcott went in moments ago and was robbed by Malcolm Subban. On that play, Walcott took a stick in the midsection from Weisbach. Usually in a partial breakaway setting like that, you're going to get an automatic penalty when the stick comes up. It didn't, but now Pilot is off for a high sticking infraction.
And now another power play opportunity here for the Crunch. This will be their third of the game. Of the Amherst goaltender, Subban. As the puck is dropped, pulled out to the far point, kept in, through to the near side for Barry-Ballet moving in. He's shot side of the net, and they score! Oh man, a shot to the net. That was directed, tipped, end up through the legs of Subban, inside the back post, and now Syracuse has come back here and tied it up once again. This one will be a power play goal, and it comes at 7:38 of the third period. After the Amherst had gained a 2-goal lead, Syracuse comes back, and now they've tied it up.
Another massive offensive night for Alex Barry-Boulet. Here the shot just got a piece of it, did Subban, but it went between the arm and the body and across the line. And what a response by this Syracuse team.
Barry-Boulet will get that goal.
He absolutely should.
All right, that'll be his first goal, by the way. And it's now even at 4. Puck come down to Syracuse zone, that's whistled out. As we have a little bit of a discussion going on out at center ice, linesman stepping in between. And the face-off coming back in the Rochester zone, 12:13 to go in the third period. Amherst have to have this one. 23 shots for Syracuse, 21 for the Amherst. And the face-off coming to the right of Subban. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop at your local Nissan dealership and nissanusa.com. Puck drop, rolls to the corner. And in there is Proud to the near side, up the left wing through the center ice. Tipped in over the Syracuse blue line, but out of the zone, then shot back in again by Rusak. That'll be brought away by the Crunch up the right side. Long shot in, and it's recovered by the Amherst in their own zone. To the far boards and up the right wing to the red line. Pass back on the near boards, in over the line. Rusak on the left wing will shoot it in around behind the net. Comes down the far side. It makes its way through and all the way down to the Rochester blue line. Pilot after it as he gets hooked. And so now we're going to get a penalty coming up here to the Crunch. He fanned on his clearing pass, but the reason was he was hooked. Now brought away, delay penalty. The Amherst bring it forward. Weisbach feeds it on the right side for Rusak along the far boards, drawn in over the line as they tie a puck rolling down the corner, chased after by Murray. Chips it around behind the net of the near corner. Weisbach, but that pass picked off, and the whistle stops play, and the Amherst are going to have a power play. As Syracuse takes their 6th penalty of the game, and this one at 8:40 of the third period.
Crazy, this whole sequence that we have just gone through after the Yopp shorthanded goal, the Reifers answer, then the penalty that was and then wasn't, as the Amherst should have been going on the power play, only to have it taken away mysteriously, and then the opportunity for the Crunch to tie it on the power play, and now we'll see if the Amherst can respond with the extra man.
Drawn out top of the slot, and that rolls out over the line to center ice. See all the fun you miss being in the National Hockey League? Look at all the things we have in the American League that go on.
It's been quite a night. I'm grateful to be here.
Brought away and up ice by the Amherst, flying in over the line. Weisbach on the left side. Return pass in front, and trying to throw it out in front was Weisbach as he went behind the net. That's pulled out of the far boards. Amherst looking to get set up here on the power play out of the corner. Malone. That's picked off the end of his stake, taken and shot out to center ice. Stopping it with his skate was Pilot, but it sort of knocked him over. Does come up with the puck and start to work forward again. Piled along the near boards. Now we'll drop it back. Continuing on to center ice. Roseanne wide to the right side to Malone. Scoops it down the corner. Roseanne chasing after it. Has that on the back boards, and again is shot away and down ice. Minute 10 to go in the Rochester power play. Amherst had moved out to a 4-2 lead in this period, but the Crunch coming back, scoring the last 2, have tied it up now. That's dropped back, brought forward now by Yops to the red line, to the blue line, shovels a backhander down deep in the left wing corner for Rusak. He'll cycle it behind the net, but that's picked off in the backboards and then shot away and down ice again. Amherst back for it. Prow out in front of his net. Starts to work forward up the right wing to the red line. Turns and drops it back, continuing on up the near side. Yopp throws it to the far boards. A race for the puck there. Jones gets to it. Backhands it behind his net. That's then cleared around the near boards, and the backhander scooped away and down ice. So Amherst back for it here, not getting anything going on this power play. Down behind the net. Rod forward again. Dropped off by Prow. And given to Rusak, and back on the right side, Kulik. His pass is picked off along the far boards, and now into the Rochester zone. Thrown toward the net, tipped in on goal, but just missed the right post as it went by the net. Right up the near wing, and the Amers start to work forward. Penalty about to expire. Crunch are now at full strength. Puck back in the Amers zone, taken by Metza in front of his net. So the Amers unable to get anything going on that power play. They'll start to bring it forward in over the line toward the net, chasing after the backboards. Whistle stops play as that's an icy. 9:08 to go here in the third period, and still nothing's decided. We're tied at 4.
Yeah, that power play reminiscent of obviously the struggles they had in the last game when they had so much opportunity during the second period. 9 minutes worth of power play time that went for naught. The earlier power play goal in the game was more of a rush chance when Roseanne took it from Weisbach and went top corner right from being alone in the slot. That power play just now, the Amers just simply could not get puck retrievals and set up in the O-zone.
Now behind the net, out on the near wing through the center ice as the puck dropped along the near boards. Played forward, then swept in over the line, down into the corner by Passolt, and the puck in the near corner is popped loose and brought forward by the Crunch up the right wing side. Into the Rochester zone, dropped on the near boards as Kepke throws it to the far wall, feet out in front, knocked down, and the loose puck is cleared away but not out. Top of the slot, shot by Crozier, and the Amers get in front of that one, and it's then slipped along the boards out of the zone. Rusak, there's a broken stick in front of Subban laying on the ice. Puck tipped down deep in the Amers zone, far corner. Sacconi's now back on the ice, and that's in skates in the corner boards, dug out there. Played along the wall as the puck dropped back and spun out to center ice again. Turned back inside the Rochester blue line. And on the near boards where it's picked up by Davies. And on the left wing side, backhanded in by Kozak. That stood up right in over the blue line along the near boards. And the puck coming out into the slot, carried away by the Crunch. On the left wing side, turned in over the Rochester blue line. And down deep in the corner. Cleared back along the boards to the near point, kept in by Myers to the other side. Carrick with a long shot in front, pad save Subban, and the puck coming down the corner. Back at the left point again and to the near side for Myers. Moves down on the right wing side into the corner. Myers still has it, trying to throw it in front, but Austin gets it back again and now shot around behind the net to the other side. That'll be returned out to the right point. These guys have been out there a long time. Long shot from out top, blocked away to center ice. As taken down, unable to get away, was Malone, and the puck rolling down inside the Syracuse blue line. Crunch back for it. Another broken stick laying on the ice. Right away up the wing, the left wing side by Syracuse, entering the Amers zone along the far boards. Now behind the net, drop back in front, and shot just missing wide right. Coming off of the near boards, Reifers digs it out, throws it down the corner. Barré-Boulet has it there, pulls it on top of the slot, turns, takes a shot, but the Amers blocked that one. Out of the far boards, bringing up the right wing to center ice. Merged to the blue line, tipped it in over the line, but recovered and carried away once again by Syracuse. Over the Rochester line on the near boards, feed by Gonzalez, hits a leg, bouncing on top of the slot, then out to center ice. Yops up the right wing. He got slashed, and now he's taken down, and could be 2 penalties coming up here. Yops has it in over the blue line, delay penalty. Yops in the corner, dropping it on top where it's taken by Rusak. That rolled away off a stick out of the zone to center ice, and the Amers back to recover it. We got a Rochester, or rather a Syracuse player heading to the bench, hobbled over. It'll be brought forward by the Amers. Rusak leads the way, drops it back once again, up the left wing side, turned into a line by Weisbach along the near boards. That spun back out to center ice by Malone. Again, delay, offside. Amers still have the puck, extra skater on. Brought away by the Amers, working up ice now. Drop back once again for Bartkowski. Has to reach back for the puck. Amers looking to regroup here.
They're going to have a commercial break here once we get a whistle, which might be a good thing for the Amers to be able to then set up for the power play that eventually is going to happen here.
Kulik grabbed as he pulled it in over the line. Finally, the whistle stops play. You could have called another penalty right there also, but not. And they have 5:49 to go here in the third. The referees are talking it over. Yeah, we are taking a timeout here, even at 4. This is the Amers Broadcast Network.
Amazing how that sequence unfolded. They just kept extending the delayed penalty time with the goalie pulled, and Rochester eventually benefits to the tune of a 5-on-3 for 2 full minutes or less, with the emphasis on the or less here needed by the Amers. This is the most golden opportunity you could ask for in a must-win game.
All right, Malone stepping in with the face-off. Again, we're down to 5:49 to go, and the Amerks have to win this game in order to bring up Game 4 here Sunday afternoon, and then have to win that game in order to force a deciding game the following Friday in Syracuse. All right, set for the face-off to the right of Legacy.
They're going with 5 forwards, Don.
Oh, really? Good catch. Puck pulled back at the left point for Kulik. Drops it back on the left wing side. Weisbach to Kulik, dropping it down on the sideboards. Back on top, Kulik to Weisbach on the near wing. Throws it through back to her side, Rosean. Kulik back to Rosean as they play catch. Now they trade places. Feed on the left side, Weisbach back to her side. Kulik with the shot. Return shot in front. That's loose. The loose puck and cleared away and down ice. Back for it. Go the Amerks. And behind the net, pulled out the left side, brought away now. On the near boards, Kulik will drop it back. Weisbach to the red line. On the near wing, over the line to Malone. Throws it in on goal, tipped into the pads of Legacy, who grabs it and holds on. So we'll have a face-off coming up in the Syracuse zone. By the way, a little bit ago, Walcott had that breakaway opportunity on Subban, who made the stop. A one-on-one, that's going to be the save of the game tonight. Brought to you by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Honorable mention after that was a quick passing play where the Crunch could have taken the lead, and Lawrence Pilot just got a piece of it at the last second. So remaining 4-4 here.
Pulled out top of the slot. Taken there by Kulik, and on the left wing boards, Weisbach out top again for Kulik. His pass down on the right side. Rosean takes it out, brings out top of the slot, throws it down to the side of the net, bouncing off the backboards out on the far wing to Kulik. Just under 5 minutes to go now. It's pulled out on the sideboards and out top, taken again by Kulik on the left wing side. Return pass from Weisbach, Kulik on the right side to Rosean. They both got a great one-timer there. Out top now in front of Richard. They score! The youngster Yuri Kulik, wrister along the ice, inside the left post. Power play goal, the Amerks back on top.
Unbelievable patience by this group of 5 forwards, and clearly the emphasis was on Rosean and Kulik the entire time as to which one was going to be in position to shoot. And we're often looking at that one-timer right wing side for both of these left shot players. It ended up not being that at all as Kulik comes in from just below the top of the circle and with a strong effort towards the goal is able to zip one past Legacy. And he's had so many looks in his return to the lineup tonight. Man, is he happy to put them in the lead, but also, Don, importantly, 50 more seconds still to go on the power play, this time 5-on-4.
Well, that'll be Kulik's first professional goal, and first professional playoff goal, I should say. So the Amerks up once again with 4.5 to go. Rod ahead where it's dropped back. Amerks still with a one-man advantage for 40 seconds. Off the left wing to Mersch. Shoots it in wide of the net. Comes down the far boards and getting a hold of it is Murray. Kicks it to the backboards for Mersch. Digs it out along the far side. Taken there by Prowl. Lays it in behind the net for Mersch. As he looks it over on the backboards. Comes out in front along the near wing and drops it back at the left point. Kept in by Yops. At top of the slot. Pass on the left wing again. Yops moving down toward the net. There's no lane. He turns back along the near side, drops it through, and that missed everybody and out of the zone to center ice. Only 10 seconds to go in this power play. Long pass up the right wing, right back in the zone come the Amerks. Murray on the right side in the corner. Mersch shoots, he scores! Sharp angle shot off the right wing side. The captain inside the post. Holy moly! And the Amerks are up by 2.
You rightfully said, only 10 seconds left in the power play. It looked like the Amerks were retreating. They get a quick up, and all of a sudden, Murray, who has been a real primary playmaker tonight, finds Mersch, who's just kind of drifting towards the corner, and as he does, he's able to go short side on Legacy, and the Amerks have 3 power play goals tonight to take a 6-4 lead.
He was at such a sharp angle, I didn't think there was any way he'd get a shot at that. Wow, that's huge. Now it's a 2-goal lead once again for the Amerks. And the important thing is the clock is down to 3:40. Down behind the net, off in the far corner. Amherst tying up there. Kozak digs the puck off the sideboards, lays it on top, long shot in, hits a body in front, and the puck pulled away and out of the zone to center ice by the Crunch. But stood up there, jammed along the near side. Amherst take it over the red line. Olszewski shoots it the rest of the way down. Now behind the Syracuse net, Crunch back forward. Amherst leading 6-4. That shoots the heck out of Legacy's 0.98. On the way and up ice in the Amherst zone, cleared around behind the net on the near wing. Slammed along the wall, but ends up in the corner again. And this to the left of Subban. There's the empty net to our left. Puck comes out of the zone, shot back in. The Amherst have it. Taken along the boards on the near side, dropped off, and a shot down ice by Weisbach. But I think that was hits a leg and goes wide, round behind the Syracuse net. Crunch have it. 2:53 to go. Kulik gets that goal.
With the assist to number 11, Lucas Rusek. And number 18, Isak Rosayan.
Rosayan and Rusek with the assists.
That is Kulik from Rusek.
As the puck in on goal, that's in on goal. Net was knocked off, but the puck is in the net.
Reifers with the hat trick.
And this one coming at 17:27 of the third period to make it a one-goal game again. Boy, these two teams do everything they can to make it interesting, don't they?
That's your choice of word. I would go with something different at this point, but you're 100% right, and it was just a high slot opportunity. Reifers took the feed, and I mean, he is feeling it tonight without question, and equally so, I think it's really tough right now for Malcolm Subban to find the rhythm, and Reifers is at his number 3 tonight, leading goal scorer for the Crunch during the regular season, and the Amherst now with a one-goal lead, 2:33 to go.
Wow. The puck pulled back inside the Rochester blue line and up the wing. That sneaks through down inside the Syracuse line as Thompson plays along the wall out of the zone. Here's the call on the 6th goal.
Playoff scored by number 28, Michael Murray.
That's the Merce goal. Should be Murray with an assist.
With the assist to number 81, Brett Murray. And number 20, Lawrence
And
Pilot.
Pilot gets the other assist.
That's
Puck down in the Syracuse zone.
Pilot.
Cleared around behind the net to the other side. We're down at 2 minutes to go here in the third. Amherst trying to hold on with this one-goal lead. Dumped around behind the Amherst net, comes out of the near board, slammed high in the air to the blue line, bouncing puck. Still kept in, directed toward the net, but wide, comes down behind the Amherst net. And to the backboards, Gonsalves, his pass picked up in the slot, brought away by the Amherst, slipped along the wall, out and down ice. Go back for it, go the Crunch, icing waved off. Syracuse on the attack, 1:35 to go here in the third period. There goes Legacy for the bench. Empty net again to our left. Pulled in over the line on the left wing side, down in the corner. Cleared behind the net around the near side. That's out over the line to center ice. Murray after it. Off the left wing boards. Brings it in, shoots, scores! Empty net goal! And the Amherst back to a 2-goal lead. Time of this one, 18:41. You think that'll do it this time?
I'm not saying a word.
Yeah, you can't say a word. Don't say a word. You're absolutely right.
The Crunch were really aggressive minutes ago when they pulled the goalie after going down by 2. It immediately paid off. They got within 1. Then they delayed. They didn't want to continue in that vein for a while. They let the game stabilize a bit before Legacy finally went off again for the extra attacker. This time around, it was just a bad end around for them, and Murray was able to come out of the zone pretty clean and had a nice look at the empty net. Hit it bullseye. Big night for Brett. Amherst, 2-goal lead, less than 80 seconds to go.
And Murray's first of the playoffs. So that's dumped in around behind the Syracuse net. That'll be an icing call. Only fitting we should have at least another icing call. Stop by your local Advantage Federal Credit Union to get your Amherst debit card. Every time you use your card, a portion of each transaction is donated to the Villa of Hope, helping to support our local youth in Rochester.
Wow, what a night offensively here as the Amherst break out after 2 stifling games to start the series in Syracuse. Multi-point performers all around, including Brett Murray at 3 points now with that empty netter and 2 assists earlier.
As the puck from the corner played back out over the line to center ice. Once again, the net to our left is empty. And back for it go the Crunch along the near side through to center ice up to the Rochester blue line. They get slowed up there. Puck banged away out to center ice on a race for it. Kozak It bounces out in front of the net, but Kozak won't get there in time to put it away. Actually, they call icing on it. And now as they bounce Kozak around, his teammates catching up to make sure everything's all right. 55 seconds to go. Boy.
Wow. I mean, this is the stuff that you can never know for sure what you're going to get. And, you know, you think of how tightly contested the first period was, low shot totals, pretty low scoring game. And then this third period has been so chaotic with special teams and missed calls and calls that weren't. And the floodgates opened on. We're sitting here staring at 12 goals on the board.
Crunch calling timeout. I remember saying something to somebody in the office this morning we were talking about the size of the crowd tonight here, and I said, I just hope it's an entertaining game.
Oh, so, I'll tell you, there was a lot of optimism, you know, leading into this, and I think because of what you've seen throughout the course of the year, pretty balanced offense from the Amerks, but most importantly, like, people have really latched onto the kids in Kulik and Roseanne, and with Yuri coming back tonight, there was just that good vibe, I think, for this team, and it's really paid off. For all the chances that he was denied on early, he was a major catalyst for obviously all of this happening in the final 10 minutes of the third period.
So 55 seconds to go. The Amerks up to a 2-goal lead once again. It's 7-5. And I guess you wouldn't call this a goaltending duel. Call it the shootout at the Blue Cross Arena.
Absolutely.
Puck dropped along the far boards, and that's played to the blue line. And in the zone, we get everybody wrapping up out top.
Rochester's
kept in, left point. Kept in again, another
first
shot, but that's blocked away at the far point. Kept in, pass through, intercepted, played along out to center ice, foot high in the air, down, and another empty net goal. Thank you very much. Rochester up 8-5.
And another hat trick on the score sheet tonight. First it was Reifers for the visitors. The captain, Michael Mersch, from long range gets that one. And it's an 8-5 Amerks advantage. And yes, I will say that will be enough for Rochester tonight.
36 seconds to go. And that shot down ice had hang time.
Amazing.
It looked like a punt.
It really did. He just took his time, lofted it over the defense, and his teammates knew right away that he wasn't missing. What a night for Mersch, up to 19 career playoff goals. Of course, he was a Calder Cup winner with Manchester back in 2015. There's a reason that they just, you know, wanted his presence here, extended him already, obviously, contractually through next year. And, you know, you combine what he's done tonight with his regular season, he's just shown to be so consistent in his 3 seasons here with the Amerks.
Well, at least one time the Rochester fans get to say bye-bye to the Syracuse fans.
Yeah, well, it's one night only for now, right?
Yes.
It's one step at a time. And I think, if anything, Don, the takeaway from not just putting up 8, but if anything, you have to respect your opponent that much more the way this game has gone. Syracuse and their response goals have, like, literally stopped the Amerks in their tracks a few times, but the persistence and patience and, I don't know, I would just say overall determination, quite frankly, from Seth Appert's team tonight wins out at the end of the day.
All right, they get the hats off the ice. Get everybody lined up. 36 seconds to play. Puck is dropped. As a goaltender legacy back in the net for the
Rochester
Crunch.
goal, his 3rd of the night, 3rd of the playoffs,
Mersch getting the
scored by
goal.
number 28, Michael Mersch.
And the puck now dumped in on the Amerks
With the
net,
assist,
poked
number
aside by
11,
Subban.
Lucas Rusek.
Rusek an assist.
Mersch from Rusek, top of the Amerks goal.
And around behind the net,
1924.
backhander in front, picked off, carried behind the net by Bartkowski. That spun around the boards, 8 seconds. At the left point, long shot, pad save Subban, and the puck tipped around behind the net. Crunch have it out the near side, quick shot in, led by Crozier, goes wide, that's it. The Amerks have a win here in the playoffs, and they're still alive. It'll be game 4 coming up here Sunday afternoon. 3:05 will be start time. Amerks in the Crunch. It'll be another have-to-win game for the Amerks, as they had to win this one to stay alive, and they did so in dramatic fashion and took this game going away. Thank you very much for a couple of empty netters, which really helped out. and some play from a lot of
Tonight's
great
final
players in
score,
this game.
your Rochester
We've
Americans
got a lot to
8,
talk about in
Syracuse
our post-game
Front
show that comes
5.
up next here at the Blue Cross. Amerks are victorious in this playoff game, 8-5, and this is the Amerks Broadcast Network.